Today's release of the Tiffany Dunk High inspired me to bring together the entire Tiffany family of Nikes. Over here, of course, we've got the 2014 highs. The 2005 OG Tiffany lows are right next to them. Over here, the 2006 un-Tiffany Dunk lows that were only released in Asia. These over here are the 2008 Azure Blazer SBs that are also called the Tiffany's. And then over here, the 2007 Black Blazer Low that's called the Un-Tiffany. And then look closely and you'll see the Tiffany SB socks that were released in 2008 stuffed into the 2007 Un-Tiffany Blazer. Anyway, I wanted to use the Tiffany family as the springboard to talk about other Nikes inspired by precious metals and gems. So let's get to it. Right here, we've got a pair of all gold Zoom Classic SBs. This shoe was released in 2007 to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Jack's Surf Shop. Now, the 50th wedding anniversary is typically called the gold anniversary, so that was the theme with the all gold shoes over here. I'm hoping that for the 50th anniversary of Nike in 2022, we'll have gold shoes everywhere. And just this last week, Usher wore a pair of all gold 9s on national television. So Nike's really getting with it when it comes to making shoes out of these precious metals. Let's work our way over here to the next pair of gold shoes. I love this pair of shoes. It's called the Flightposite Battleground 3. And this shoe brings back a lot of great memories for me. It released in 2002, and Battleground refers to outdoor basketball. So these shoes are sort of reminiscent of the Air Raids that came out in the early 90s for outdoor basketball. But here's Nike celebrating outdoor basketball 10 years later with the Battleground series. I had a pair of these that I wore strong until the Nike executives showed up and they broke on me. These shoes have this crazy rubber clasp right here, and on top there's a button that buttons together, but there's a clasp down here that's just rubber, and when the Nike executives were visiting me, it just popped right off, and it was kind of embarrassing. The guys looked down at this shoe and they told me that internally the Flightposite Battleground 3 was called the brain tumor, because when you look closely at the upper of the shoes, you'll see these honeycombs on here, and the Nike executives and designers said that the people at Nike said that they were like the brain tumor shoes. This shoe's special and sentimental to me because it's one of the shoes that I first started selling on eBay out of the Nike outlets. Back in 2002 and 2003, these shoes hit all the Nike outlets for $39.99. And after I bought them all up at my local stores, I started driving to stores that were 50 and 100 and 150 miles away. It was really this shoe that got me to extend beyond just the Nike factory stores that were closest to me, because this shoe retailed for like 180 bucks. It was being sold for 40 bucks. You could pick them up in all sizes everywhere, and I would just cruise around, buy them for 40 bucks, and flip them on eBay for about 100. Nowadays, $100 for this shoe would be a crazy deal because it goes for like 400 bucks. But I love this shoe, and it's just always going to be really special to me and will always remind me of my first experiences on eBay. From gold shoes, we'll work our way to silver. This shoe right here is the Medicom 3. Medicom is a Japanese toy company, and they've collaborated with Nike 5 different times, and this is the 3rd of the 5 times. It's my favorite metallic silver shoe, but who knows, maybe with the 5 Lab 3s, the Air Jordan 3s that are going to be all 3M metallic silver, maybe that'll rival these, and those are coming out really soon. Let's move from these silver dunks to a pair of silver foam-posites. Actually, they're called metallic pewter. This shoe's incredible. It came out in 2010. It was a part of the Foamposite exhibit at the ShoeZeum, which treated Foamposites like treasures. And it was really easy to do because a lot of posit shoes are silver or gold or copper. And these shoes were really brought to life with gems and beads and matching Mardi Gras beads. It really looked like Pirates of the Caribbean treasures, but with Foamposites scattered everywhere. Something to note about this Foamposite before we put it away and move on, it's the Air Foamposite 1, which does not have the swoosh on there. The Air Foamposite Pro has a swoosh on there, and we'll get to one of those in a minute. But Foamposites originally released in 1997. They were designed by Eric Avar, who visited the ShoeZeum twice. He autographed one of my OG pairs, and it was so flattering and such an honor for me to share my creation with the people that created these shoes. Let's work our way to another pair of Air Foamposite 1s. Remember, the ones have no swoosh. These are metallic copper, and they're known as the Dirty Coppers. So when these shoes came out, they were worn originally by Mike Bibby at the University of Arizona, but they were designed by Penny Hardaway. And that's why they'll have that 1-cent penny logo on the back here. These shoes were on display in the ShoeZeum with pennies everywhere because pennies are made out of copper and they match the shoes. And I also had a pair of my bronzed baby shoes on display next to these kicks because they matched perfectly. The ShoeZeum was much more than just curating the history of Nike. It was also the history of my own life. So my baby shoes had to be in there right next to the Dirty Coppers. Let's look at one more pair of Foamposites. Here we go. This is the Air Foamposite Pro. Pro meaning that it has the swoosh on here. They also originally came out by Nike in 1997. This is a retro pair, and they're known as the Pearls because the upper matches the color of pearls. And so these shoes were also on display in the Pirates of the Caribbean treasure of Foamposites with pearls all over them. I love what Nike does when they design shoes inspired by diamonds, gold, silver, bronze or copper, pearls. What I'd love to see is them take it to the next level. Let's make some shoes out of real diamonds, out of real rubies, out of real emeralds. We'll see. Usher's already rocking these gold 9s. I think we're on the way.